All right, it's 2 o'clock. We're going to do this Zoom, and obviously, look, we don't have a lot of participants, but it's recorded, so you guys can watch it at your leisure. So today we're talking about what do we do when we break into a new market with other agents. A part of the reason I joined Compass is actually the network. I know you can build a tremendous business based on referrals, and that's obviously like a whole different networking when we do with Compass, but also it's a way to get business. So I love that, specific way to get business. And I do it in a couple of ways. First of all, when I moved from LA, I knew nobody. So I literally Googled who are the top agents here, which companies, and I made sure I attended to a lot of like brokers open houses, and basically introduced myself and start building that relationship with agents from other companies. Because first of all, it's a way to, get inventory potentially that's not on the market yet if you establish the relationship. And also when you are on a deal, it's always good that you know the agent and you have some sort of like connection with them, because real estate, like to make a successful transaction, obviously we deal with a lot of like emotional buyer, seller, and a lot of agents really can kill a deal. As you know, I'm sure you dealt with like a complicated agent on the other side of the transaction. And I think it's very important to never burn the bridge. So even if you are not a fan with the other agent, always be polite and nice, because that can help you closing a successful deal. So moving from LA, which I knew the agents, and it's a big network, but it's also small because people just know each other. Same thing I did with Miami. I just went to a lot of brokers open, exchange business cards, put them on my email, follow them on social media, engage with them when they post content, like comment on their post, and just kind of like be more engaged and show them some attention. I think it's very helpful in the market, because then when you have a client that is looking to buy or sell, maybe you can find an off-market deal through those agents. And if you're going to contract, maybe they will favor you a little bit because you guys already have some sort of relationship. So I think it's very important to pay attention to the agents in our industry, and not just necessarily chasing the clients, because the agents are a big part of making a successful transaction. So definitely in your market, if you're moving, or even if you're starting the business, or you've been in the business, always try to establish those relationships with our associates, doing happy hours, networking events, maybe your local association and board, they usually host events as well. Those are all great ways to meet agents. Add them on your LinkedIn, on your Instagram, on Facebook. Again, make sure you comment on their post. Be supportive, because it's very important, and you never know who you can, do business with next. And I give you a perfect example. I'm under contract with a house that my friend is actually buying. I'm representing the seller. My friend has been working before I know, I've been working with this agent for a while, and they wanted to use me to represent both of them. And it was an awkward situation. She had an exclusive agreement with him as a buyer, which good for him for signing exclusive for a buyer agreement. So I told her, look, I cannot represent you, you deal with him. And they're like, well, at least, maybe you should get a referral fee because it's technically your listing, and because of you, we got the house, and so on. And he messaged me, he wrote the offer, and yes, they got the house, because I kind of like helped them a little bit on what they need to do to get the house. But he represented her. So he wanted to give me some sort of like referral fee, and I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm like, don't even give me the referral fee. Just represent them. Let's make sure we are in successful transaction, and we're going to close this. So we did it like very smooth and professional. And then now he has a listing in Miami Beach that I have a client for potentially, and we are trying to do another transaction, and I represent the buyer and he represent the seller. So if I would, let's say, take the referral, or kind of like try to, as quote unquote, steal the client, probably that transaction would not even happen. So it just shows you never know where you're going to find your next deal, and your relationship with the agents is very important to make sure everything is done successfully and professionally. So that's why in the beginning of the conversation, I said, try to not burn the bridges, because you just never know, especially in like multiple offer situation. And if you compete with other buyers, you really need an agent that you know on your other side. So I always try, by the way, and sorry, I'm under the weather a little bit. I had this lingering cold for like literally a month now. Not COVID, some cold. But I always try to establish that relationship. So when I moved from LA, yeah, I did a lot of open houses, brokers open, and I just got to know the agents and who is in the industry, who is selling what and where. And you make sure, I kind of like stay in touch and just basically build a relationship. Just like you build a relationship with your client, building a relationship with agents from different companies is very important. Now, Compass is a whole different, obviously ballgame. And I know Chirag just did his event in New York. And honestly, I would go there to interact with all the agents, would be amazing, but I'm pregnant, so I cannot travel. But I think also networking within the Compass industry, Compass agent, in the industry is important, whether if it's in your local Compass offices around the city or the state, or, outside of the state. I traveled to Atlanta for the retreat for that reason, to meet other agents. When I went to New York a couple of months ago, I made sure I line up some appointments with other agents just to start the relationship in the referral business. Workplace is another way to get to know the agents. I need to be more involved in that. So I'm lacking with work place, but I highly recommend being involved in those group, because we have a bunch of groups in that space. It's kind of like the Facebook for our agents, and it's a great way to put your name out there and see other agents in different markets and network with them basically, and attend events and attend seminars and all that, just to have that established relationship with them. So networking within the Compass as well, in workspace, go to the retreat or any events that Compass is hosting, even in your local office. When we have the office meetings, it's always good to attend them, because you have your own network and your own niche. We are doing a deal now. My associate, it's a small condo in a very great location in Miami, which I knew is going to go to multiple offers. But she's doing the deal with the Compass agent. So automatically, I feel like we have that extra, it's a Compass agent, like the extra understanding and like support, at least here, hopefully in your markets as well. But I think it helped her to get the deal done, frankly. Granted, she was a good offer as well, but it just helps that it's a Compass agent, and to make the deal smooth, and they share an office and all that. So I think it's very important to really not forgetting about those relationships with agents, because again, we deal with each other, and transactions can be very complicated. People are really, sellers are crazy, buyers, they say they're liars. People are all over the place. And a lot of the agents, a lot of the time, from my own experience, agents can really kill a deal. They make things crazy. They can be, too complicated. And you got to be, understanding how to handle the other side. If the agent is impulsive or too dramatic, it's very important to stay calm and relaxed when you're dealing with someone like that, to make a successful transaction and just build a relationship and establish that. So networking a lot. There are so many events for realtors, whether if it's in our office, through Compass, all these coachings that we do here, between Chirag's coaching and other programs that Compass is offering. It also set up like to some sort of like a common habits, like the 6 a.m.ers, for instance, and all these other groups that you're networking within the Compass agents. And workspace, as I mentioned, workplace, not workspace, workplace. And also, if you do like LinkedIn or Facebook with other agents, again, add those agents to your market, like their post, comment, engage with them. And that's a great way to just really build business. And it can be a very serious book of business. I just got a referral from an agent from Chicago. She referred me two people who are relocating to Miami, and hopefully I'll refer her. And I just refer someone to an agent in New York. So you just never know how things evolved. And it's very important to just stay in touch and pay attention to the agents as well in our industry. So I did my homework when I moved from LA. Again, I did like all these like Google search and see who is doing what, pay attention who has the listings, who is hosting those brokers open. And I really made an effort to go show my face, introduce myself, and little by little, really building from scratch, because I didn't know anyone when we moved there. I had no clue who are the top agents, what the deal is, how is the market. And part of it is really like going to brokers open or public open houses and get to know each other and talk to each other and exchange the business cards, and just make sure you build that relationship and network. I mean, it's really part of networking, just the same as you network with your client. So I want to open up a little bit if you guys have any questions, and we can talk and share comments and thoughts. If you guys are doing that, and if you are networking with an agent, how do you do it? Like, what do you do to let people know, hey, I'm in the industry, are you an agent? And like, do you exchange business cards? Like, what are your ways to network within your market? Anyone wants to chime in and give their thoughts and comment? Sorry, by the way, my voice is just like, hi, Denise, how is it going?
Hi, Maya, how are you?
I'm just like having a cold for 3 weeks. I don't know what it is.
Congratulations, by the way, on your baby.
Thank you. I saw that Chirag was doing the event, and I'm like, this is the perfect place for me to go there and meet people. But I mean, like a week or two from having a baby, so I'm like, traveling is probably not the best right now, just in case.
So I was doing business cards, but now I just do Instagram. So when I see people, I just exchange Instagram. So
yeah, I think that's great. Look, business cards are kind of like the old school, right? I mean, it's good to have business cards, but let's face it, today a lot of us are, in social media. I try to like, I see agents in our office or different markets posting their like listings and real estate, and I always try to like and comment and write something beautiful, views, or just to engage with them, to give that attention. Everybody likes to get attention, and especially with real estate, sometimes it could be lower engagement. I know for myself, if I post something personal, I get way more engagement than if I would post like just listed or whatever. So I think it's very important, to your point, to engage with those agents, and then they will pay attention to you. They're like, wait, Denise, where is she? Which market is she from? And oh yeah, she's big. By the way, which market are you from? Where do you live?
I'm in Calabasas.
Oh,
but,
nice.
I live in Westlake Village, so we cover, a large area, but yeah.
I mean, I know Westlake because, I used to live in LA, so.
Yeah.
So I always like, let's say, okay, Tomer Friedman. I always like his post and comment, but I know Tomer also. But
yeah, he's in the big leagues over here.
well, Tomer Friedman got a good client, the Kardashian, and that's all he needs, because they keep buying and selling. So every time he list, I'm like, that's probably another Kardashian house that he's selling right now. And he's with Compass.
Calabasas is literally down the street from the Kardashians, so yes.
Yeah, it's a good location. I mean, and when I lived in LA, people didn't really pay attention to Calabasas until the Kardashian and became so big in all Calabasas, and then it's like Hidden Hills and all that. But I think it's just important to engage with agents. Whether if you're Compass, I mean, look, imagine like you have a buyer, you're looking for off market, then you can message someone from the Compass office in Calabasas, say, I'm looking for this and that, because a lot of deals are being made between the agents in the office. I mean, that's why we also have Compass exclusive. But I think it's just so important to have the relationship with agents. We forget how, I mean, we are the one doing the deals and bringing deals together, and you need someone to cooperate with somehow. So I think Instagram is great, you know, whether if it's Instagram or Facebook, or I know Facebook is very old school, but you know what? People are on Facebook. And you also have groups on Facebook, by the way. I mean, I'm sure you know, groups of agents and different kind of like type of groups. So it's just good to be involved if you can. I know it's time consuming. I mean, social media is really time consuming, but it's important to sometimes even time block. We talk about time block in one of the other sessions that I had for literally social media engagement, whether if it's with client or with different agents. What about the other ladies here? Linda, I see you. Mai, I see you in my other session. Caroline.
Hi, I think
Hey.
it's always a good idea to go to the brokers tours, and then if you have a second on the weekends, go by and meet the agents at the open houses when you know it might be slow, whether it's right when they open or at 1:30 around here, just to, because the more the agents know you, the better it is when you're in a multiple offer situation. They can put a name to the face and they feel like you showed up. So it makes a difference.
I totally agree with you, you know, especially, I mean, look, Miami for us, it's still a hot market. The inventory is still not that great. I'm sure like some of the pockets where you guys are, the inventory is still not amazing. And maybe we're not going to have 10 offer on a property, but we maybe have 2 or 3. So it does help if you know the agent and they kind of like, oh, she's a good agent. I know her client. It's to make the deal happen, really. I tell you, like, you know, I had an offer, a house, the one I'm dealing with my friend. We actually had 10 offers, and one of them was a Compass agent, which she was also with a very good offer. And unfortunately, I had to take the other offer. But I felt guilty. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a Compass agent. I'm going to disappoint them. But just in general, I agree. Like, it's such a good way to try to be in the game in a multiple offer situation that you already have some sort of like connection with the agents. And you know, it's just important. As much as we always network with clients, it's just great to have that network with our peeps, basically. What about you, Mai? Are you doing any sort of like networking? I always look at your trees. I'm thinking you're in Hancock Park or something.
Well, very soon, because I actually am having a listing, a multi-millionaire listing, 35 minutes from where I am in San Marino, which is the Beverly Hills of LA. And it is the #1 school district in LA. And in year past, I have sold to Chinese clients and multiple offers, all cash. But this year will be interesting because let's see, if I'm going to have that many, Asian clients, and the broker over there, they usually let me do all the contracts because, I've been doing this like for 33 years. And so I am going to have to launch a charm number. Plus, Compass has a big office of over 300 Asian there.
Really?
Yes, in Pasadena.
Wow. By the way, are the international buyers coming back to? Are they back in California? You guys see like a lot of transaction with international buyers? I'm just curious. I know it's switching quickly topic, but are they coming back?
Well, we don't know that yet. I'll find out within the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I also want to ask you, in Miami, there must be like French-speaking client, right? French brokers. Do you know any French-speaking person in LA?
In LA, I do. I know one agent. She's with Keller Williams. She speaks French.
Because, I have like an event on May 18 at the Résidence de France and the Consul House. And she is actually a woman, and it is for women entrepreneur, French-speaking woman entrepreneur, in America. So that group, it has chapter all over, the country. Not yet in Miami, I don't think, but in New York, San Francisco, San Diego, and there's going to be a lot of personalities. And I belong to that group, so I'm trying to also sell tickets.
Where do you speak French?
I went to French school since I was 3 years old, and then University of Switzerland in Geneva.
Oh, wow. Wow. You're very lucky. So you can get the buyers from all over the place. In Miami, I'm trying to think who I know speak French. I'm sure I know someone. I just cannot top. I mean, an agent.
Mhm.
I cannot like think of something on top of my head.
But
But,
do you know that, the richest man in the world is French, Arnault, and I actually, I am going to, watch my sleuth, and I'm going to quiz my clients about that, because I actually have a French client who grew up not very far from Bernard Arnault, where Bernard Arnault is. And then my mother has 3 cousins, and 3 of them attended the same École Polytechnique as Bernard Arnault. And, right now, his son, who is only 30 years old, is the CEO of Tiffany in New York. So
oh,
this
nice.
$15
Yeah,
billion.
if he wants to buy something in Miami, let me know.
Yeah, we'll see. Actually, he tried it, in Miami in 1984, not 1981, and failed. He was ahead of his time.
Wow, wow.
$212 billion in
That's
like,
it? Kidding.
yeah, well, in 35 years, not bad.
I know. But and that's another thing, like you do groups, and even if, by the way, even if you guys do events with groups with other agents, again, it's another network thing. Sure, it's not going to be your client, but I would highly recommend, obviously when your markets, if you do events for brokers, that's another way to interact with other agents. And again, like try to expand your exposure to other agents, basically in the US, especially with Compass. We have such an opportunity to do that between all these networking events and coaching events. And you just never know where your business will come based on an agent that you know. And just remember that, because we always like so focused on finding buyers and sellers. But again, referral business is huge. So, and for me, really, that was, look, Keller, I was with Keller before I moved to Compass, and they have obviously like a big franchise, but I feel like with Compass, we have such a good community with the agents. And I don't know, there is something with the community with Compass that really, like, we support each other, I feel like, at least. Even with the local agency, look, we all compete with each other, really. But I don't feel it. Like, I feel like we can really support each other. And that's really part of the reason I joined. And I think once you start getting that referral business, it can really help. So I'm working on that on my end here, engaging, sending emails if I can, obviously showing up to an event. I know they just released the retreat tickets. They're going to release for the Thursday thing. I'm going to host an event in San Diego with other agents from different markets. We're going to do that. Although I don't know how I'm going to go yet, because I'm going to have a newborn, but she's not going to be new. She's going to be a few months, but I'm planning to go at least for a day. So even if I'm not going to go to the retreat, just to meet agents from different markets. And that's the reason I went to Atlanta in the beginning, really just to network, because I'm in a new market. I'm in Miami. I've been here, but nobody know I've been here, because everybody assume I'm still in LA traveling. But no, I've been in Miami for a while, and I want all the Compass agents to know that yeah, I'm in Miami. So networking with them, it's important. Whether if, again, after the retreat, I got a lot of like business cards from agents. I got like people send stuff to the office and all that. I'm not, it could be overwhelming. So I would suggest every day do just one little thing at a time. If you take like 30 minutes and engage with a couple of agents in a post, if you send an email to a couple of agents, I get a lot of email blasts from agents, by the way, that say, hey, I'm your New York agent, or whatever, Austin agent. And so there are a couple of ways to do it, and just get that referral this way, to remind people that, this is your market and this is what you do. And obviously you cannot get all the referral in the world from everybody, because people just, have different people that they work with. But even if you get 1 or 2 or 3, that's better than 0. And again, the workspace, Compass, Facebook, as I call it, there are so many groups there. You can totally be more engaged with that, and just attend to as many events as possible in your local market, with agents from, different companies. And there are, again, so many like ways to just establish their relationships and to make a nice, smooth transaction for the future. And again, especially with off market, that we're always looking for off markets and so on. So you just have to be creative, whether if you network with the agent from different companies and obviously with the Compass agents, and try everything between email blast, social media engagement. Maybe you meet someone for a coffee or have lunch with someone. That's another thing. Maybe once a week you suggest someone, hey, you want to grab coffee and let's brainstorm each other with ideas. I always like to listen to other agents' ideas. Like, what are you guys doing? How you get listings? How do you get buyers? Like, some of them might share less, some of them might share more, but find the time to have coffee with someone. Maybe put that as like a mission. You don't have to do it every day, but once a week, every 2 weeks, just go have lunch with an agent, even from your office. You just, that relationship building is so important in this business, whether if it's with clients or again, with our basically like associates or peeps, whatever you call them, agents. So it just, make sure to not forget that and not neglect that side of the business, because again, in a buyer's market, like the COVID craziness market, which thankfully, hopefully we're not going to have a COVID market again, but I mean, not the market COVID, but in a crazy buyer situation with multiple offers, it's just always good to have those relationship established and respect for each other. And again, even if you're in a deal with someone that you can stand and it's terrible and the agent is just doing an awful job, try to stay calm and don't burn the bridge, because you just never know when you're gonna see this agent again and meet with them again and maybe have to interact with them again. Unfortunately, people are really, people are crazy in this business. So try to like stay calm and make sure you close a successful transaction, because you just never know where you're going to see that agent. And you also don't want agent to talk bad about you. So you want to keep your reputation. You never know what they can say. So try to, be friendly and polite to your agents and be ethical. Try to not steal clients and all that, because again, you never know how it's going to backfire you. So it's just another way to keep things in mind, because again, we do business with buyers and sellers, but the agent is such an important role in the other agent on the other side in the transaction to make something successful. And yeah, any other comments for everybody? Richard, any comments, thoughts? I just saw your face first time, so. Which market are you, Richard, by the way?
Philadelphia.
Oh, Philadelphia. Okay, cool. Is it getting warmer or is it still cold?
That's really nice.
What's nice? 60 degrees or 70?
60 is not bad. Yeah,
Okay.
that's better, but we'll take 60.
Yeah. I mean, here, it's like when your guys, the climate's starting to get nice, it's like, oh gosh, summer is coming. We're going to be boiling here and sweating, and it's going to be disgusting in Miami in about a month.
Mm.
But any other questions or comments that you want to share? No? Everybody doing their networking with other agents?
Yes, I'm networking with Arana on Santa Monica on Friday.
Oh, nice.
Yes, with many other agents who actually are coming for Sky Happiness Summit in West Hollywood.
That's nice. They're doing it in Santa Monica?
No, actually, he's doing it in West Hollywood, but I'm not attending that summit. I'm going the following day for the breakfast with agents from San Francisco, San Diego, Seattle.
Oh, that's great. Where are you guys doing it? Where in Santa Monica?
I think it's Dog House Cafe or something on Main Street.
Oh, yeah, I've been there. Actually, I know the owner.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know the owner. Yeah, in West
Easy
Hollywood.
to park?
Huh?
Easy to park?
That's the thing with Main Street, I mean, you have to go to the site, but then you have permits and all that. Yeah, and you commute all the way from the east side, so probably gonna take you an hour to get there. But that's LA, by the way. You drive you commute everywhere for over an hour.
That's right.
Yeah, but no, so I know that. I mean, I met the owner when they just opened the cafe. They probably expanded and did all this renovation, but that's a great way to meet people. Honestly, in the retreat, they had so many events. I was so lost and confused. I didn't know where to attend. They had mom groups and this and that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where do I go? Where do I even begin? But I can't wait for the retreat again in San Diego in November.
We'll take photos and we'll upload on social media and tag you. You can see
I
us.
know, exactly. I mean, I'm planning to be there because I'm hosting an event. I paid for it. I just hope I can actually show up, but I think it'll be great to do it. Again, because, like a lot of people don't even know I'm with Compass. They think, especially with the show, they still think I'm with the Oppenheim group. I'm quietly with Compass in Beverly Hills, but I don't really practice in LA anymore. Although I'm just doing my continuing California education, which I want to shoot someone because it's 45 hours and I have zero time for this. So after I put the kids to bed, I do the continuing education for California just to keep the license active. But I'm not looking to do anything there. So, yeah. But and that's the thing is sometimes we want to be all over the place. Honestly, it's better to focus just in your market and just refer the business to another agent. It's just better. Like the idea of being all over and do, transactions, it's too much. You can only know so much of your market, the price per square foot, the inventory. Another way is meet agents, refer them the business and just get the referral fee and let them deal with the headache.
Yeah, definitely.
In different markets, at least, it's worth it. So if nobody have any questions, we're gonna finish the session here. But yeah, definitely, again, social media, email blast for our agent, face-to-face. Now we don't have excuse. We are back to face-to-face. It's been back to face-to-face for a long time. And I always like the personal connection better than, frankly, than Zoom. It's just nicer and you connect with the person and it's just better. So also here we're doing, in Miami, you have a lot of pre-construction. I don't know how it is in your market, but getting to know the in-house agents is also very important because, again, with new construction, if you sell your client pre-construction, it's another way to have that relationship with the in-house agents. Let's not forget about them. It's also very good to have that in your database. And with that being said, we're going to wrap here. I have a little condo that I'm selling that we're going to take photos in like an hour. So I'm going to go there and open the unit for the photographer. But any other questions regarding like different subjects or different things? Since we are such a small group, we can always have any other questions. Yeah.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about your TV stuff.
My TV stuff.
Yeah. Is that
So
fun?
it was great. Honestly, it was great filming. Look, when I went to filming, I thought it was going to be like $1 million listing, more real estate. And obviously it started this way and then it just became more drama. The show got renewed for 2 seasons. They just wrapped up, but I am not in the show anymore because I'm in Miami full time. I'm really trying to build a brand here and just focus on real estate. Again, I cannot be in LA, Miami, and everywhere. Like it's at some point it's too much. So I decided to quit the show after 5 seasons. And it's fun. Look, it gives some sort of like credibility, at least for me, because me on the show is really me being me. So it helps a little bit with credibility and brand recognitions. I mean, I was just I'm doing a billboard here. It's the second time I'm doing a billboard in Miami, and my thing is like from selling LA to selling Miami. It's kind of like my line because people still think I'm in LA. So just like working on my marketing here big time, just so people will know, hey, I'm in Miami and I'm doing real estate here. But the show is great. Look, it's fun. It's just intense, and it's how to do real estate full time and filming a show. It's, as like everybody tells, oh, real estate is so flexible, but it's very demanding. Your clients want you right now. If you don't answer, they text you, they send you links from Zillow. They want to see a property yesterday and they didn't want to sell for a month. Now all of a sudden they're in a rush to sell. So yeah, it's flexible, but not really. So doing a show and having, the kids and do real estate, it's just a lot. So I think there is a time and place for everything, but the show was great. I mean,
did it increase it increased your business? I'm sure quite a bit.
I think I do a lot of online advertisements. I do Zillow, and I feel like the leads I get from Zillow, once they realize I'm in the show, wasn't the show, they tend to potentially stay more loyal because they're like, oh, she's in Selling Sunset, and people like that, you know, she's in Selling Sunset and all that. But not always. Some people also ditch me, and so I still have to work a lot. I mean, I do, and we talked about it in previous sessions. I do cold calling. I used to do door knocking. I do mailers. I do social media. I do the billboard. I mean, I do handwritten letters. I really do everything. And then I see, okay, which one sticks? Zillow for me personally worked. And again, we're completely in a different topic, but obviously we're all agents. I'm sure people will watch it and appreciate some tips. For me, Zillow did work. Less in LA, less in Los Angeles, more in Miami, because Miami, again, it's the market that's like people not necessarily from here, so they don't have that local agent they worked with. In LA, I used to do a ton of door knocking, and you know, it was hit or miss. You have to do it all the time, all the time. And here I'm trying to get more listings versus buyers. So I cold call, but I don't cold call the expired that expired today and yesterday, because so many agents calling them and they're probably going to hate you by the time you get onto the phone. So I actually look at old listings canceled from 3 months ago, 4 months ago, that nobody called them anymore. If they didn't relist, then I call them. And I feel like I have a better chance with them, unless they relist, and obviously I missed the boat. But I call the old expired and cancel listings and withdrawal and all that. So I do that. It's a lot of legwork. I use white pages to get the number. I use this other program called Spokio. You can find an owner this way as well. So I wish the show would give me like just 20 clients every day and people would just message me and my phone would be off the hook with clients, but it's really not the case. So I got a couple of clients from the show, but I cannot tell you I got like so many clients from the show. I think I would have to do like maybe 10 seasons and up, and you know, also like more like kind of like $1 million listing type, which will really do more real estate versus like, oh, who is like dating who and why is this girl saying this way, and more gossip. So it helps a little bit. It gives you some recognition, but you know, it's not like your business is my business is not built on client from the show. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
How much do you spend on the billboards?
Yeah, the billboard was not cheap. The billboard I spent here in Miami in a great intersection, I paid $12,000. And you know what? I just got a listing actually, oddly enough, on the billboard. And I say oddly enough because for me, I didn't expect people to drive and say, oh, I'm going to call her right away. For me, I just want people to know that I'm here and they see me. So if they get my mailer, because I'm trying to target an area, if they get my mailer, they're like, oh, I see you on the billboard. Oh, okay. And then they see my mailer. So it's kind of like a double marketing for me to do. I want to do events. People talk about doing events all the time, including Chirag. I want to host an event, but I'm trying to figure out, okay, which event I'm going to do. There is a little like a cart here, like kind of like a golf cart that like take people for free. It's like a shuttle in a certain area. I'm going to do an advertisement in that one too. So I spend money, but I need to, but also look, some stuff didn't work for me. That I'm like, okay, I didn't really see the return yet, so maybe I should cancel. And everything again takes time. Like,
right.
For me, it's more the brand recognition, but it's hard because, you know, we do real estate, we sell, then sometimes we don't sell, we have like dry periods, and like, okay, what do you do? Where do you spend the money then? But I feel like when you close the deal and you make some money, you have to allocate some of your money, obviously, towards your marketing and business. Like, let people know you're in the industry. Now, a lot of people don't spend money and they either do the door knocking because it's free, or they just network within the group. Like Maya, you mentioned your French group. That's a great network. I mean, you might not have to spend any marketing or anything. You just like meet people randomly. And a lot of people do business this way too. They just meet people through common habits and hobbies and so on. I mean, I'm trying to network within my school, but I'm not the only real estate agent there as well. So I just try to do everything. And I think it takes time, but you have to be really consistent with the business. Like, I have 5 listings right now. And I can tell you it's the first time I have 5 listings active together in Miami, because I worked a lot with buyers, which, you know, buyers are all over the place. But buyers are also turning to sellers at some point. So, and sometimes you take a bad listing for like less commission, but you don't know what can turn out from this listing. So one thing's always lead to another. I feel like it's always good to remember that maybe you don't want that do the list, because the list is not going to pay you well, but maybe they refer you a client that will buy, or maybe they will buy in the future. So I tend to not turn business away, and I deal with a lot of like also lower price point in Miami because the condos are much cheaper than obviously LA. So you just, you never know what can lead to more business. Obviously, don't waste your time with clients too. You have to ask the right question. And I know you guys probably been savvy and you've been in the industry for a while. Obviously, like you've been in the industry for 30 years, you've seen it all. You've seen all the people who like fake buyers, fake proof of funds. We've seen it all. Crazy sellers. Someone wants to buy a condo, but then end up in a house in a completely different location. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's part of the business, right?
Yeah.
Some clients are easier than others.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, like people wrap up here and people left, but I hope that was helpful. I know thank you. I know. I'm going, by the way, if I don't follow back, I need to check my followers because it's sometimes hard to see who is following me because obviously the numbers, but I'm going to try to pay attention and I'll be happy to follow back.
We should all send her a message right now. I just sent you a message.
Yeah, so
and
also the DMs, they go, in my case, they go to my spam as well. So I have to go look at the spam, refresh the messages. So, and sometimes I don't even see them. I don't know why. Like it's something with the Instagram setting. So
if you're not friends with the person, they go into like the junk request.
But then, but even if I refresh the junk, I couldn't find like some messages that people send me. And by the way, just heads up, I have a little real estate course for new agents, but people try to scam and send messages on my behalf that I'm selling the course, and I'm like, oh my God, and they gave them like wrong links. So it's like a whole different thing with my social media, but I'll try to see. But yeah, so anyways, but you know what, like, look guys, my email is all on my Instagram. Feel free to always send me an email. Like I'm pretty responsive, try to be. Anyways, I'm gonna head to open this little condo now. All right, guys, have a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, enjoy the event in Santa Monica, and I'll see you guys later.
That's right.
Bye. Have a good one. Bye.